There goes January. What could have been one of the biggest transfer windows in recent Arsenal history has become memorable for, personally, all the wrong reasons. Now, I wanted to kind of just get some thoughts out on the Arsenal transfer window before our live stream tonight, because I know I want to speak about this for a while, and that might be tricky to do. So, these are my views. I understand that it's raw. But I'm absolutely disappointed. I'm gutted with the way that window has played out because it was a chance, as I said. Let's be real. Let's look at Arsenal's position. We found ourselves somewhere that not many fans expected us to be, in a position where the top four is an option. And how did we get there? We got there with some good but not overly dominant performances, because there haven't been many games this season where we have looked like the real deal. We've stumbled at times. We've shown some character and resilience at times, which has been good too. But the other teams that we're meant to be fighting with have gone through massive slumps. Spurs have fired a manager. Villa have fired a manager. Everton have fired a manager. And I use those clubs because they're all teams that, you kind of thought we would be fighting with. West Ham had a big dip in form. But all these teams could potentially be better than us at the moment. And they've stumbled through the first half and a bit of the season. We've started to stumble as well. And we've had this big break. We've had an opportunity to go and address some of the glaring problems in our squad. Arteta, Edu, the Cronkies, blame who you will. But they haven't done that. They've not addressed the errors in the squad. What are some of the errors in the squad? Well, for me, my priorities in this transfer window, obviously a striker. Blind Freddie could have seen that, Aubameyang was on the outer, the way that Arteta's treated him. I'll get to soon. Lacazette is a workhorse, is someone who does improve the team, but he scored less goals than Aubameyang. So what does that tell you? Eddie Nketiah should be nowhere near the first team of any Premier League club. The rumours that we knocked back a bid for him, if we did, it's laughable. I would have paid a club to take him off our books. People talk about saving money off Orba, but we're paying Eddie a wage. Get rid of him. You would have saved some money. We needed a striker. We needed a centre mid. Granit Xhaka cannot be relied on. We've seen that time and time again. And Thomas Partey has just started to recently show that he could improve and play the Arsenal way, and then he went to AFCON. So we are short. We are dangerously short. And if we don't bring players in, well, we haven't now, we're one or two injuries away from calamity. Lacazette gets injured. Eddie Nketiah is our starting striker. So we didn't address the gaps in the squad. There were rumours that we were in for Vlahovic. Seemed like it was close. But in any kind of management, there needs to be a plan B, a plan C, a plan D. To me, it feels like we chased Vlahovic. He said, no thanks, guys. Want to go to a big club in Italian football, want Champions League, rather stay local. And we had nothing. Like it all fell to pieces. So there were rumours about some other players, but I don't think it was ever going to happen. So in terms of players coming in, I'm not even talking about the guys from the MLS. Call me a football snob, but it's just not something that I think is improving Arsenal at the moment. So not even going to go there. In terms of the outgoings, again, we've shown massive ineptitude in the market. We let Aubameyang, who we signed to a 300k contract or whatever it was, we've let him go on a free. We found no way that we could use this guy in our team that isn't scoring goals. We let him go for free. It's embarrassing. People are talking about the money we've saved. What about the money we've lost? Because we only re-signed him not long ago, and we've let him go for free. Nothing. Zip. That's mismanagement. That's poor. It's negligent. People talking about money saved as if we're going to go and invest that at the end of the season and sign someone big. Who knows where we'll be? Who knows where we'll be? because any striker worth their weight in gold wants to be playing in a European competition. Football's changing. They're not going to come to us because they want to be in a youth project or they want to see what Mikel Arteta's got to offer. No, if a team with European football comes knocking and offers the money, they'll go. And the problem is, other teams now without European football, you've got your Newcastles of the world who are going to spend money as well. So the outgoings to me were poor. We've had a bunch of loan deals. We generated not really any profit from any players. We let Aubameyang go on a free. So we've absolutely flopped in that department. I want to talk about the Aubameyang situation a little bit too. This is a guy who has had some stupid moments, right? Turning up late for a North London derby, the COVID stuff with his holiday and going for his mum. These are all mistakes. These are things that you need to be disciplined for. I get that. But there needs to be a way back. You look at how Chelsea handled the situation with Lukaku, who publicly went out, spoke in a way that was, offensive to his fans, his club, who had just forked out a lot of money on him. He's back in the team within 2 weeks. Aubameyang was frozen out. Aubameyang was forced to play with the juniors. We took Jack Wilshere to Dubai and not Aubameyang. Jack Wilshere, as far as I know at the point of recording this, is not even a part of our squad. We froze this guy out. We turned him, not we, because I had no part in it. Mikel Arteta, the board, Edu, they've turned him into a villain. They've done that so that this could happen and you'd still have large portions of our fan base saying, but he was a bad influence. He needed to go. It's good. We've saved the money from his wages. Arteta probably wouldn't have had his job if Aubameyang hadn't fired him to an FA Cup. Just think about that for a minute. So the way they treated Aubameyang, I don't blame him for really pushing for this move to Barca. I'm sure he'll bang goals because they'll play to a way that suits him. Arteta was not willing to tactically be flexible or even try and chuck Auba off the bench. Instead, we were stuck watching Eddie Nketiah. So we've absolutely flopped there. In terms of what this says about our ambition, it basically says that we don't have any. We're a couple of injuries away from calamity. We've let the window go signing a goalkeeper, the least needed position we need, and an American defender from Stan Kroenke's, one of his other businesses. So it's epic fails all around. I'm not buying into the nonsense that this is good. We've saved money. We're going to invest at the end of the season. For me, if we don't make the Champions League or the Europa League, which we may not, because let's face it, we're in a slump. We're out of the FA Cup. We're out of the Carabao Cup. We had no European football. We got fixtures postponed for COVID. And we're still out. If Arteta does not get European football, see you later. Take Edu with you, go. Because the Kroenkes did back him in the initial window. Now, why they haven't backed him in this window is a bit of a mystery. Are they too busy worrying about the Super Bowl? Potentially. Have they seen the way we've kind of slumped and dipped a little bit and the inconsistency? And they think, oh, we're not trusting this guy with another big wad of cash? Maybe. Is it that Arteta and Edu are so stubborn that they didn't want any players? Maybe. I don't know the answer to that question, but what I do know is that there's a long way to go for us. Long way to go. And if we do not finish in the top 6, and it pains me saying that because top 6, how far we've fallen, something's got to happen. So a disappointing window, one of the worst, one where some of our rivals have strengthened, but it is what it is. This is Arsenal. And hopefully they can surprise me. I would love to look back on this video, in a few months' time and say, mate, you overreacted. You overreacted. Look at them. They've cruised into the top 4. All that working yourself up for nothing, but don't see it happening. So it is what it is. A disappointing window. Thanks for watching. Please make sure you subscribe. Not always this angry. We do shows a couple of times a week. But we'd love to see you in the live chat. If you agree, chuck a comment down. If you disagree, feel free to chuck that in too. I'd love to hear some people who can maybe give me a little bit of hope as to why I'm the deluded one. But I hope you've enjoyed this more than I enjoyed the transfer window. Take care. Enjoy your football. Onwards and upwards for Arsenal, hey?